Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and we are back in the Dale-lands. We need to bring word to King Thorin about the Zhélruka company that it's trying to cross into the land. But first, we're actually gonna go back in Dale, as we need to bring word to King Erna about what happened in the Iron Hills with the Easterlings, with Tuhâl and his family and all the other poor souls that fell trapped to the Yangovar. And hopefully the Queen will be able to accommodate for them. That will be great. Now, this would also be a great time, I believe, to grab some more task items from storage for some extra tasks, for some extra reputation. We are halfway through, basically, with this reputation from Kindred to Respected, I believe it is. So we can keep doing this. I mean, farming that reputation with the task items we have stored. I think we should be okay. Even more so if we get some extra reputation tomes. But I want to save some of them for future factions. Anyway.
What news do you bring, traveler?
Just waiting for it to load, please. So let me do the math really quick. We're gonna be up 23,000, so 22,000. Yeah, it's about 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we basically have enough task items to max out this reputation through tasks alone. That would mean, however, that if we do that, we will stop leveling other factions through tasks. So I need to be smart, basically, about when I do that. For the time being, though, we only need to talk to the Queen. To Tuhâl. Actually, not the Queen.
I'm sorry, friend, but my courage fails me.
This land, the cobblestone streets, the river flowing into the glittering lake below, the majesty of Erebor. I am overwhelmed by the beauty of this place. Please, will you speak to the King and Queen on my behalf? You are known to them, yes?
By water or by road, as they say.
Hello again, Beriathan. You're always welcome in Dale. What can I do for you? You tell Erna of the situation in the Ironfold, of how the Easterlings refugees who are no longer under the rule of the Yangovar would like to stay in the village of Utterby, but need permission from the Kingdom of Dale. They have no home to return to and few options left. Erna sees Tuhâl standing behind you and studies his face carefully. She sees the desperation and exhaustion in his eyes. He carries a heavy burden. I feel for their plight, Beriathan. Whatever has happened in Rune, Dale will welcome those who come to us hospitably. However, there are Dalish families waiting to return to their homes in Utterby. It would be unjust, nay, impossible for us to simply hand over the village to the Easterlings. Unfortunately, we have already taken in many Dorwinian and Chayasír refugees here in Dale, and I am unsure we can accept anymore. I will leave this decision to my son, the king.
It is all so much.
I have listened well to your conversation with the Queen Regent. As she said, we cannot justly offer Utterby to the refugees when there are Dale folk waiting to return to their homes, but I also cannot bear to turn away those that need our aid. There must be a solution here. You notice Queen Erna watching over her son, smiling proudly. I have made my decision. Utterby will be returned to the men and women of Dale who used to call it home. We cannot support any more refugees here in the town of Dale. However, land in the hills west of here will be set aside for their use. They are welcome to stay in our land so long as they obey our laws and keep the peace. We will provide aid to our friends from the east until they can establish themselves. That is the best we can do.
A new home in this beautiful land.
Tuhâl looks to be on the verge of tears. A new home in this beautiful land. The living will be rough, at least for a while, and much hard work lies ahead of us, but this is the hope my people needed. I will discuss the specifics with the king and queen, and then return to the Ironfold to gather the refugees and spread the word. I cannot thank you enough, Beriathan. Had it not been for your kindness, we would either still be slaves to the Yangovar, or slain at the hands of the dwarves. I will make sure the Chayasír tell your story for years to come. Ah, yours, that's so kind of you. Glad I was able to help you and your people. Everyone needs a home. Perfect, so now that this matter is settled, I think... What do? I need a task board. But my milestone is no longer set in Erebor, so I cannot use that one. So I guess I gotta go back to the task board in Dale before I move on back to Erebor. Gonna be really quick, and then we can just use the travel skill to the hole under the mountain. That would be nice. So anyway, once again, not like leveling through tasks. So I'm just gonna take this in here while I finish all this. There is a new weekly to complete as well. And once again, going as fast as I can. Bear with me, if you don't mind. Nine. And 10, there we go. Now back to the hole under the mountain, and how is our reputation going? Yeah, basically half. That's good. Yeah, we are missing just 7 more days of tasks with the dwarves to max their reputation, so it's coming along quite nicely. Travel to Erebor. I mean, I'm already in Erebor. Didn't it trigger for Grar's quest? Oh my god. Alright, alright. King Thorin looks at you curiously as you approach without the sum he sent you to retrieve. As you approach the throne of King Thorin III, you notice a number of restless dwarves gather before it. And that is because there was also this other quest that we got while we were still in the Iron Hills. Those are the 2 that we need to progress right now. Hail, Beriathan. I am pleased that you have returned to Erebor, but I wish it were under better circumstances. It seems only more troubles have come to Erebor since the defeat of the great cold drake Vethug Wintermind. There is much to be said of such things, and I would hear your counsel. Where shall I begin? Oh, here we have good old Vethug and Kadasgar. The great cold drake, Vethug Wintermind, has long been known to my people. When the Longbeards still dwelt among the Grey Mountains in the dwarf kingdom of Gradik, my people discovered a great delving beneath the slopes of the Wrathhorn. They restored it and built upon it, naming it Thikil-gundu, or the Still Keep in the common tongue. It is true that the first mines and outposts in the Great Mountains were delved by the Zhélruka, but the holes of the Still Keep were shaped by the craft of the Longbeards. I will not speak of rightful claims or of the old conflict between our peoples. They matter no longer. It was a great cold drake that stole Thikil-gundu from us, Vethug Wintermind. Vethug devoured Dain first, and slew his son Thror. Grarik was ended, and if not for the flight of Thror and Gror, the Longbeards would not have survived. Mere weeks after the war had ended, Asgard drew Vethug Wintermind to Erebor, and though my people suffered great losses, the Cold Drake was defeated, but not slain. Whether he seeks to stand his wounds or die atop our horde of old, I am certain he has returned to the halls of Thikil-gundu. Asgard, the Weeping Warrior. Not since the days of Azog has a name been so reviled by my people. His cunning drew our foe of old, the great Cold Drake, to Erebor. Dwarves, elves, and men battled against Vethug Wintermind, but it seems our defeat of the great Cold Drake only served to further his designs for the north. You see, after Vethug fled the battle, Asgard followed him into the Arid Mithrim. By Durin's beard, nothing good can come of that. Asgard has left us in peace, but he will return, I am certain of it. So there you have a really short summary of the Rust and Rime in case you didn't do it, complete with Nori's escape. After Vethug was defeated and Asgard traveled into the north, I issued an edict forbidding any expeditions to the lost halls of Thikil-gundu. It seemed that my people had come to understand my wisdom, or so I thought. It was then I was betrayed by one of my father's oldest and closest friends. Nori, hero of Erebor and keeper of the coffers, had gathered an expedition in secret and set out in the night. In anger, I thought to leave him to his fate, but that is not the way of a king under the mountain. And now you understand, Beriathan. It is true that Vethug Wintermind was defeated, but that does not mean that Thikil-gundu has been left unguarded. Asgard has pursued Vethug into the Grey Mountains, and there are orcs of Gundabad lurking in the foothills. If the Zhélruka hope to reclaim the Steel Keep, they will have to contend with the dangers of the Grey Mountains, and I am inclined to let them. However, their passage into the Arid Mithrim has not gone unnoticed by my people. Even now they gather before my throne in anger and restlessness. Listen well to their grievances, Beriathan, and then we will see if I cannot put their minds at ease.
Where is Durin? Did I not send you to bring my son back from Yarnfast?
How can it be you have not fulfilled this request, Beriathan? What? He came with you as far as the edge of the Dale-lands, but has stopped to trade with a band of Zhélruka. I have heard nothing of this, Beriathan. Explain this business. You quickly describe your encounter with Bodus Frostblood and the Zhélruka he leads, and recount Durin's decision to remain behind to keep the situation from worsening. These dwarves are liars, Beriathan. I have seen no messenger, and even if I would not listen to any request of his, I am not convinced the Zhélruka have a claims to land in the Grey Mountains, and at any rate, I have no obligation to allow them to pass by the foot of the Lonely Mountain. Let them go around, if they must, and take the long road that passes well north of here. They shall not pass through my lands and troll the folk of Dale. I will dispatch some warriors to reinforce my son, and they will ensure the Zhélruka stay put. Beriathan, go find Gandalf at his chambers in the dwelling halls. Perhaps the threat of wizard magic will encourage this Zhélruka to remain peaceable. I'm not sure about that, King Thorin. I don't think that's something Gandalf would want to dabble in. Well, let us hear what the dwarves have to say about Nori. We are forbidden to return to Thikil-gundu, but the Zhélruka are not? Where is the keeper of the coffers? Has the king sent him on some secret errand? Vethug is defeated. Why do we sit idle in Erebor? The king under the mountain dishonors his forefathers. The edict of the king under the mountain shall not stand. Thikil-gundu was brought by the Longbeards. The Zhélruka know nothing of our craft. So yeah, it seems doesn't matter what King Thorin does. He will always have detractors, and very loud detractors at that too. It is as I expected, but not as I had hoped, Beriathan. My edict was not firm enough to withstand the passage of the Zhélruka, and my people will not heed it. Oh, Akini here. To say hi to as well. Nori has proven that much to be true. I may hold the rest of them back for days, weeks, or even years, but it will not last. There must be another way. King Thorin produces a small missive and glares at it. Nori left a missive behind when he made for Thikil-gundu with his expedition. I would ask that you deliver it to Dori. I think now it is time that he learns what his brother has done. Yeah, I don't think we delivered this letter to Dori. We brought it to... to King Thorin when we discovered it. But we didn't show this to Dori, I don't think. But I think this is the one that we have already read at the end of the Rust and Rhyme, so check that one out in case you haven't. Oh, more Kinnies. Where is Dori now? In the hole under the mountain, but where exactly? I have no idea where Dori is supposed to be. Is he... Is he on the upper chambers? Oh god. Where's my goat? Where is Dori supposed to be? I don't know. I mean, there he is. Awesome. Not as much. What is this? Dori begins to read the missive and his face sinks. This is some trick, Beriathan. It must be. Nori would not have done this. Oh yes, he did. Awesome. Level 117. We didn't get anything extra, I don't think, but... yeah, but we are leveling up, in any case. I do not understand, Beriathan. What has compelled my brother to act so foolishly? He has lived a life of wealth in Erebor. He is the keeper of the coffers, or he was. I should have confronted him. I saw dwarves speaking with him in hushed tones, but I thought nothing of it. Nori is a dwarf of some repute after all. If only I knew the names of those dwarves, but... Wait, I do recall one of them. This dwarf seemed to be of line descended from both the Longbeards and the Zhélruka of the East. He was thin in the beard, but any dwarf would be proud to have such a mustache. He is a miner, I think. Search for him in the new loot of Narathag, and perhaps he will be better able to explain why my brother has left for Thikil-gundu. Okay. Yeah. That's why we needed to talk to Dori before we left the halls. So that we can continue doing the other stuff as well. Where do we go first? Do we go to Gandalf or do we go to Narathag? Let us go to the loads and find this dwarf. I think he actually is closer than Gandalf, so yeah. You spot a dwarf matching Dori's description, yeah. Yeah, anyone would be proud of that mustache.
All is well, and yet not all.
I do not appreciate your gaze. What business have you in the new loads? You explain to the dwarf that he matches the description of a dwarf Dori believed to be in league with Nori's secret expedition. The dwarf lets out a long sigh. Very well. I am Devil. I am not so deeply involved as you might believe, but yes, I know of these things. I suppose the truth would come out sooner or later, but I had hoped it would be after Nori returned to Erebor. I cannot give such information freely, but I can offer it for a trifle. If you were to clear out some of the deep claws that have burrowed into the new loads, I give my word that I will share all I know of Nori and his expedition. What do you say? I say then we'll need to keep fighting these guys? No biggie. Wow. So we need to unearth them, it seems. These borrowers are not the ones we need. We need the big ones. Okay. That's two. Of course, this guy. Can I move now, please? Thank you. All right, and the last one. Perfect. We got all we needed. Where do we go now? Further west.
We are dwarves and the folk of Durin.
Did I not say I was a dwarf of my word? I knew very little of the plans of the Keeper of the Coffers, but I knew enough. He made for the still keep of old, Thikil-gundu as it was one named in the tongue of the dwarves. I could not follow him as he wished, but he offered to keep his home in order until his return. I have borne Nori's secret faithfully, but I do not wish to lose the favor of the king under the mountain. Here, take this key. Perhaps Nori left behind some clue for his brother to find? You have acquired a passive skill, Nori's key. Okay. Okay, another key. Alright. Great, so that means we need to talk to Dori once again, I guess. But first, let us see where we need to be exactly to trigger the next stage of Grar's seal. Nine say the key could be found in Mazalukshar, the scholar's abode. Yep, that was basically it. So, let us go and look for them. Quests of Edith Mithrim. Alright. 1 out of 50. Yeah, so the Iron Hills is really short, but Eret Mithrim, on the other hand, is a really big place. By the map, it doesn't seem like it, but it is. Oh, come on. Please move, don't do this to me right now. Alright, yeah, I lost connection, so sorry for that, but here we are, back on track. Yeah, Garlic, I'm also glad to be back. Whenever that happens, it's a little bit weird. Obviously inconvenient as well. So, Mazalu Ukshar. Napgun Mazaru, which one is that one? Gotta keep looking for the right door, it seems. Is this one? Doesn't say, oh my god. It should, right? Would be so nice if you did. So this is Gandalf. These are Gandalf's chambers. But, well, that's okay. Let us see what he has to say about the Black Book.
What is this you bring to me?
What is this you bring to me, Beriathan? Gandalf takes the Black Book, warily eyeing the sigil on the cover. You describe the hidden chamber in which the book was found, and the wizard stroked his beard thoughtfully. He carefully opens the books and turns several of its leaves. Some of these pages contain words written in the Black speech, but there are also dwarf runes of several varieties and many blank pages. I suspect these gaps are not truly empty but contain words written in the hidden fashion used by dwarves to keep secrets. Most interesting. This book clearly has its origin in Mordor, but the Mordor of 1,000 years ago is not the same as it is today. Truly, even in a month's time, Mordor has greatly changed. I will study this book with interest, but I see from your expression that more than one purpose has drawn you hither.
The relationship of the Zhélruka and the Longbeards has long been tumultuous.
It has been tumultuous during the years of their interaction, changing from peace to outright war and then to uneasy truce. The passage of the years and the waning of memory finally caused friendship to once again emerge between them, and now this happens to cast that renewal into doubt. With the devastation that heralded the end of the First Age, much of Middle-earth was shaken and sundered. In their land far to the east, the stronghold of the Zhélruka was destroyed and they became a wandering people. Their neighbors turned them aside and wished them ill, but King Thorin II of Khazad-dûm took pity upon them and bade his folk make a home for the displaced people at Mount Gundabad. They disappeared in the mountains and never arrived, but a single survivor emerged centuries later. He spoke of the banished Zhélruka and Tafargathul, a citadel he claimed they delved in the mountains. He insisted too that its riches could match those of the mighty Khazad-dûm. Mad ravings, surely. None of the many to seek it over the years, Longbeards and Zhélruka alike, have ever found it. I do not believe it ever existed. Dwarves from Khazad-dûm did uncover the remains of an ancient delving in the Grey Mountains, and although they found a great deal of iron ore, they found no mithril. This could not be Tafargathul. They called it Thikil-gundu, the Still Keep, and soon their iron production threatened to rival that of the Iron Hills. Scholars whispered that this threat to their prosperity caused the dwarves of Yarnfast to send word of the Still Keep to the Zhélruka, who demanded it was theirs by right. If the dwarves of the Iron Hills did take part in this, none have proven it, but it seems likely to me. Ever since, the Zhélruka have jealously guarded their claim to the holdings in the Grey Mountains, and that resentment has colored their dealings with all other people. If Botus Frostblood and others of the Zhélruka believe their property is being kept from them, they will not hesitate to spill blood to regain it. I will not involve myself in this matter. Return to King Thorin and warn him not to trifle with the Zhélruka. They will become a dangerous foe if they feel they are being treated unfairly, and the dwarves of the Lonely Mountain need more friends, not new enemies. Yeah, just as I thought, Gandalf is not going to meddle in this kind of affairs. Doesn't seem to be what he usually deals with. So Yeah, he's not gonna want to do that. The nearby guard wants to have a word with you.
Well, traveler?
Halt! By order of King Thorin III, Mazal Ukshar may only be accessed by Erebor's Lord Masters until the situation in the Grey Mountains is resolved. You can Glóin the writ from Nain. A writ from the Lord of the Iron Hills? Aye. This is no ordinary writ, but a pact between Nain and King Thorin III. I am sorry to keep you. Please continue and accept my apology. We have all been on edge since Karasgard decreed his intentions against those of us in the north. Glóin allows you full access to Mazal Ukshar. Where is Mazal Ukshar supposed to be exactly? What am I missing exactly? Oh my god, this quest can be so confusing. The Scholar's Abode. Oh my god, thank you. Why was this not on the map? I don't know. But here we are. Whoa. The key is not here. Neither is it here. Okay, one cabinet. You found Grar's key. Awesome. Now, gotta bring that key to Nain. And when we do that, we will unlock, or well, we will open the next stage of the quest, and that is the Howling Pit. I already told you a little bit about the Howling Pit and how we are not doing it right now, but we're ready to go. Next time we are in the Iron Hills, maybe we can do that. I don't know when that it's gonna be, but we have at least a couple more journeys left to the Iron Hills, so at some point, I guess, we'll go there. Where are we now? I'm a little lost. Now these dwarven halls are massive, impressive, but also really confusing. There we go. Let us continue our way back to the hall, under the mountain. There we are. Don't do this to me again. Please move. Yeah. I had enough with one lost connection today. No more. Let me go where I want to be. What I need to go. Spal, you're back as well? Good to see you're alright. You found the dwarf, did you? Very good. What did he have to say of my brother? You explained to Dori that Devil did not offer much in the way of new information, but he did offer up the key to Nori's home. A key? My brother entrusted his key to this devil before me. We shall have much to discuss when next I see him. My brother was not one to leave things unorganized. He is the keeper of the coffers after all. However, if Nori has traveled to Thikil-gundu, I must know his course through the Eretz Mithrim. They are unfriendly lands, now home only to orcs and dragons. It is to Tum-Nurum we must go. Those are the dwelling halls of Erebor, and it is there Nori makes his home. I will await you outside his home. After all, you have the key. Yeah, I could give it to you if you ask me to, but I'm very curious as well about what will we find inside. And I guess I should have come bring the key to Dori before talking to Gandalf. That would have saved us some time. And potentially a lost connection, who knows, but we're already here. Authi Gem Cutter stands before the king. What is he doing here?
This is bad. This is very bad.
What happened?
Authi Gem Cutter has come from the edge of the Dale-lands with urgent news.
He says that Baltus Frostblood and his band of Zhélruka forced their way into the Dale-lands against my wishes and have marched toward the Grey Mountains. At first, my son Durin barred their way, but he refused to spill dwarf blood and allow them to pass. It seems he followed them, intending to watch them and prevent the Zhélruka from doing any harm to the people of Dale or the lands around the Lonely Mountain. He sent Authi back to bring me word of their movements. This is an outrage, Beriathan. These Zhélruka have proven themselves to be impolite and no friend to me or to my people. I am insulted, and I demand satisfaction. I do not say my son should have stood alone against dozens of these traitors, but I wish the Zhélruka have been made to pay for this slight in some fashion. Had they waited for my warriors to arrive, they would not have dared to cross, or they would have paid a good sum in blood and in pain. They are brazen enough to disregard my commands, but too cowardly to engage in outright battle for it. Go to the Grey Mountains and tell my son to return. This Zhélruka will pay for this outrage, but it will not be for Durin to exact the price. He belongs here with me, and will learn the responsibilities of kingship at my feet. Alright, we are ready to go to the Grey Mountains, it seems. At least with the Black Book epic, but well, we still need to go to Nori's home. Oh my god, let us ride. Finally, here we are. So, at least with the goat is a little bit faster. It's quite the road back and forth. So yeah, I'm kind of regretting I didn't talk to Dori first. But what else can you do right now, right? So just go back as fast as we can. At least I remember the way. Dori ships uncomfortably outside Nori's home. You have the spare key, yes? Let us see what my brother left behind, Beriathan. I hope it is of some use to us. Yeah, sure. Let us check. Dori looks around the empty home of his brother. At least Devil did not allow my brother's home to fall into disrepair. Dori glances around Nori's home and pauses upon a stack of papers piled on the dining table. I think my brother left more hastily than he expected to, Beriathan. Look, there are papers piled upon the table, and I see other curiosities left about that I would like to examine. Take a look at those papers and see if my brother has left any hint of his curse or the names of other dwarves that we might question. Once you have done that, let us meet back here. Sure, let us check. What do we have here? After Vethug defeat at the gates of Erebor, Nori enlisted his kinsfolk to follow him to Thikil-gundu. Okay. What about this ones? Thikil-gundu was lost, Nori thought, but it was not the way of dragons to abandon their hordes. Yeah, dragons do not abandon their hordes, so what makes you think this was a good idea? Let us see if this has the answer. Thikil-gundu had once possessed great wealth, Nori thought, and now it sat unguarded and unclaimed. No, Nori, no. After countless hours of study, Nori learned that the hoarding bolt lay beneath the eyes of the seven. What do you think you're doing, Nori? No. After clearing the dust away, Nori drew forth his armor of old. The time had come. My brother believes that because the great Colddrake was defeated that our old hordes lay unguarded, by dragons perhaps, but the orcs will not have abandoned them. As the king under the mountain said, Thikil-gundu is best forgotten. The Longbeards have found only misfortune and death in the still keep. If I do not aid my brother, this expedition will be his doom. We are forbidden from traveling to Thikil-gundu, but perhaps King Thorin will be merciful upon my family and allow me to pursue him into the Ered Mithrim. It is the only curse. Come, we must go at once. Well, at least this takes us back to King Thorin directly. Thank you for that. Dori seems fixated upon the king under the mountain and barely seems to notice your approach. King Thorin III Stonehelm, king under the mountain, I beg leave to travel into the Ered Mithrim. You have forbidden Durin's folk to return to the still keep, Thikil-gundu, but that is not my purpose. I go in search of my brother, Nori. I am a loyal dwarf of Erebor. I have fought and bled in its defense, from the Easterlings, from Bolg. All I ask is a chance to save Nori from his folly. Will you grant me leave, King Thorin, king under the mountain? I hear your words, Dori of the company. Your deeds and those of your kin are not forgotten to any who dwell in Erebor, but Nori has acted in defiance of my edict. Whether his expedition is successful or not, there will be consequences for him. I know well that your brother Ori was among those lost in Balin's expedition, and I know as well as you do that this bears a resemblance to our efforts to reclaim Khazad-dûm. Both Balin's expedition and the Iron Garrison have failed, and if future losses may still prevent it, they must be. And so, Dori, I grant you leave to follow your brother and put an end to his expedition. You will travel on my behalf, but you will go in secret as your brother did. You may form a company of your own choosing, but do not spread word of this to any untrustworthy ears. In addition, I ask that you find the remains of Vethug Wintermind. He flew from battle gravely wounded and passed into the Ered Mithrim, but I desire proof of his death. Eat my words, deliver Nori from his folly, and retrieve for me a bone of Vethug Wintermind. Only then will we speak of forgiveness. Alright, lots of things for us to do. You have my truest gratitude, King under the mountain. I will do as you have commanded. Dori turns to you. What do you say, Beriathan? Let us begin our preparations. Very well. I am not the young dwarf I once was, Beriathan, but I am hale still in my old age, so I will lead the company. However, I must find those willing to follow me into the Ered Mithrim, for no promise of wealth or glory beyond my own gratitude. I know a few dwarves whom I can trust with such a task, and so I will speak to them myself. But such a company need not only to be comprised of dwarves. After all After all, old Mr. Baggins was not a dwarf, and he proved an invaluable ally to Durin's folk. You are a strong man, well-traveled and skilled in the ways of battle. Would you join me? You nod in assent. Yeah, I am already going there to find Durin anyway. Good, good. We shall have need of a great many things in our travels, and so I would ask that you gather as many coils of rope, water skins and bedrolls as you can bear. Once you have done that, you should meet me and the others in Nori's home. Let us hope it is enough. Are we understood, Beriathan? Swiftly now. Is this all in the hall under the mountain? And the new loads of Narathak. Okay. I think yeah, we can find these items quick enough. Door? No, I don't need that door. What about this other side? Why is that water skin not working? I don't know. That doesn't seem right. Seems it's upstairs, the last one. Alright, I'll do it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, rope. And bedrolls. Let us check. I don't see any coils of rope, any bedrolls either. Am I looking in the right place? Well, there we go. Before we continue, however, let me open this shard storage once again and just get me some more task items in case we need them later. Taping them up for the next episode, I guess. Alright. Well, we have all the bedrolls now. And all the coils of rope as well. So glad we didn't have to go to the load for that. We're gonna go back to Nori's home and deliver this. Then we have just enough time for that. Okay. Are we ready to depart then? Are we gonna do anything else in Nori's home now that I think about it? Or is this just our gathering place to live in secret? Dori, Bofur. Awesome. Ready? And Náth? Who else is coming with us? Because these dwarves... I mean, this company is looking good already. Glóin. I'm liking this group of dwarves that you put together, Dori. It's an impressive gathering, an impressive company. Seems this is all of them. Well, looking good. Of all the dwarves I hope to gather, I have found only 4. I spoke first to the dwarves I traveled with on the quest of all to the Lonely Mountain, but only Bofur and Glóin have agreed to join us. Bofur offered no reason for his refusal, but I do not doubt he has seen enough of battle. As for the others, Dwalin must tend to his duties at Thorin's hall in the Glóin, and I would not ask Gondor or the fine dwarves who bear him about to make such a journey. But the elder of the stout axes, the one named Spakurth, he is a king dwarf. I spoke to him of our task in the Mithrim, and he offered 2 of his finest warriors to me. Náth and Dréri are young in the years of dwarves, but if the wisdom of my kinsfolk should fail us, the might of the stout axes will deliver us from trouble. I have spoken enough of such things. You have gathered what I asked, and now you should prepare 6 packs. 1 for each of the dwarves of the company, and 1 for my brother Nori, for when he is found. Once that is done, return to me. There is no pack for me then? You hurt my feelings, Dori, but okay. Fine, I guess I'll bring my own pack. Where are the remaining 2 packs that we need to prepare? Here with Glóin, of course. There should be 1. They're packing here, it seems. In Nori's home? In Nori's room, yeah. Nori's room, yeah. What now, Dori? Very good, Beriathan. After dusk, we will gather before the gates of Erebor and begin our journey to the Mithrim under the cover of darkness. If you have any unfinished business in Erebor, I would see to it. The hour soon approaches. Okay, I guess we could technically wait. But we are in the late watches, so maybe if we are fast enough, we can just catch up to them, because waiting or hoping that next time we log in is nighttime, that doesn't seem like a good idea. So yeah, let us hurry back to Erebor. But yeah, I gotta say, I like that company that Dori has assembled. Lots of talent in there. So really looking forward to see what they can do. How their errand in the Grey Mountain ends as well. What happens to Nori, I don't remember. I don't remember Bofur either, for that matter. So I also hope he makes it out okay. Dori has gathered his company beneath a tree on the banks of the river running. Yeah, I can see. It's a really nice company once again. Looking great. All of you guys. I hope this journey ends up well for all of us. It is time, Beriathan. Our preparations are made, our goats are watered and well rested, but one matter still remains. Dori gestures at the massive chest of gold and gemstones before him. This is but a small measure of my share of the treasure reclaimed from Smaug the Golden, and it is still greater wealth than most dwarves will ever know. I want you to deliver it to Ravenhill, Beriathan. The Raven Chief, Arca, and her people are fond of all that glimmers, and if her people would aid me in the search for my brother, I offer it all. I do not know if I could deliver it by my own hand, and so I ask this of you. Once you have finished this business at Ravenhill, follow the long road beneath its heights into the Aedith Mithrim. The company shall await you along the road. Okay. So, oh my god, yeah. Gotta hurry up to Ravenhill, but at least we got a nice run speed boost. So even then, this is gonna be quick. Does it stack with forced march? Because that would explain why this run animation is so funny. Gotta say, I didn't expect we were gonna be back in Ravenshill. Or that we would talk to Arca, for that matter. I'm glad we are. I was just not expecting it. Arca casts an inquisitive gaze in your direction. Ah, why have you come to Ravenhill? You open the chest of gold and gemstones before Arca and explain that Dori has offered a share of his treasure in exchange for the aid of the ravens. Aid of what sort, man? These glimmering trinkets and baubles please me, but I would know what What is to be promised if I offer our aid? You explain that Dori's brother has taken an expedition to the Ered Mithrin in secret and seeks for Thikil-gundu to still keep. That is an accursed place, Beriathan. You may send 3 of my conspiracy into the Grey Mountains to search for Nori and his kinsfolk, but I allowed none to fly too near to the still keep. I have spoken. Well, thank you for that. I'm sure Dori will appreciate. Alright, gotta find Dori and company on the road to the Ered Mithrin. But I think that's enough for today. So we're gonna leave it in here. And we are ready to depart now for the Grey Mountains. Join me on the next episode as we will do just that. For the time being, thank you for watching today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.